Hey guys, good afternoon. I just wanted to come on here and kind of talk about some stuff that is going on. And I guess I'm not the only one that has gone through these things. So, to anybody who has or is going through some of these things, I just want to tell you I know how you feel to some extent, and you're not alone. Reach out and create yourself a support team. But anyway, on to what I want to say. I know I've talked before about my health and some of the issues that I am facing, but I've never really gone into a lot of detail or anything because I didn't really think that I had a lot to say on the subject, I guess. And I try really hard to minimize and downplay a lot of the issues that I am dealing with. Because if I acknowledge them, then they become real. But I have been dealing with a lot of body pain. Pretty much all my life, I have had to deal with pain in my body. And I came from a situation where I never learned how to validate my needs or to be able to learn that what I was going through wasn't the same as what everybody else was going through. And that just because nobody could figure out what the problem was didn't mean that I wasn't going through it. And I spent a long time being basically gaslit into believing that my problems were really minimal and that I didn't have the problems, that it was all in my head, and that I was just a hypochondriac because even if I went to the doctor and I told them what was going on, nobody decided to go further than, you know, the general poke you and ask you if it hurts and then tell them yes, but they tell you that they don't know what's going on because it didn't make sense. They didn't see anything, and nobody ever actually went above and beyond to test me for anything ever. And so I've pushed a lot of my health issues onto the back burner, believing that if I said anything, that somebody was just going to tell me that what I was going through was ridiculous. And I want you to know, if you are dealing with pain, that nobody else understands, that doesn't mean that it's not there. And just because other people don't want to acknowledge or face the fact that there might be issues that present themselves in a way that aren't always going to be readily apparent. And sometimes you have to dig deeper, especially when you are neurodivergent and you are dealing with a lot of the body issues and whatnot that come along with that. And you may not realize that you're neurodivergent, or you did know, but nobody ever told you what that meant and how that presents. And so, if you know, you know. And you shouldn't have to mask that because it makes other people uncomfortable. Your reality is your reality. And nobody else has to be able to feel the same way or think the same way or understand the same way because we're all different. And it's not like you went out and broke your ankle and it's very visible and you have a fracture. Sometimes the issues you have are buried in a pile of other issues that you didn't realize were issues at all. On top of my pain issues, I recently came to realize that I have food sensitivity issues. Being ADHD and autistic comes with gut issues. It does. It just does. And it sucks. Believe me, it isn't fun. And if you find yourself in the bathroom for more time than most people sit at home and watch TV, maybe you want to get checked out, because I have spent a lifetime not realizing what was going on with me because I thought what was happening to me was normal. And it's not. It's not normal to feel sick to your stomach all the time, to feel bloated and gassy all the time, to feel generally unwell in your gut and in your body all the time. That's not normal. And you need to do something for your body, because feeling like that all the time is so draining and wears you down so much. And a lot of people are never going to understand what is going on with you until you understand what is going on with you. And I am not saying to do this alone. There are people out there that are specialized in being able to figure these things out. And if you find yourself in that position and you have the ability to, I would go to a dietitian and a gastroenterologist and somebody who deals with food sensitivity issues, because sitting there feeling sick and unwell all the time isn't good for your mental health. It's not good for your physical health, and it just takes so much out of you. And for the people that know, you know. And for those of you watching that don't, I wouldn't wish this on you. This isn't something that I would just choose to pass off to somebody because it is hard. It is. It is hard. Anyway, I also found out here probably at the beginning of December, this last December, that I had a mass on my adrenal gland that the hospital knew about since 2014. And for whatever reason not known to me, and believe me, I have gone and asked and filed a complaint, they told me that they had no answers as to why I was never informed. And now it's to the point where that mass has been affecting me since 2014, at the very least, when they found it. And now it is highly detrimental to me to keep it in there if what is going on is happening, because they believe that it could be one of three things, basically. One of them is called Cushing's disease, and the other one is possible cancer. The third one, which would be the safest option of the three, is it is a benign mass just sitting there. The problem is your adrenal glands are one of your main hormone producers, and they affect so many different things in your body. Your inability to lose weight, higher blood sugar, headaches, bloating. I had high thyroid levels, and those are only to name a few. But I also came to find out recently, very recently, that at the age of 41, 42 next month, that I am pregnant. And the possibility of that happening was so astronomical that they have been telling me since I was in my mid-20s that I would never have children. And my husband, being that he has gone through some medical issues of his own, was basically also told the same thing by his own doctors. And so the fact that this happened was so far past anything that anybody ever thought would be happening. But because of my age alone, I am considered high risk for premature labor, for early abortion, for Down syndrome, for all kinds of things being passed on to my child. And on top of my already pre-existing heart condition and the adrenal mass going on, this has become incredibly dangerous. And my doctors don't exactly know what to do at this point, because all of my different doctors need to come together, be able to talk, and figure out together what is the best way forward for me. Because they're saying that my health conditions to start with made me already very, very dicey, because they don't know what's going on with some of the issues, and they need to do more testing and whatnot. And since finding out that I am pregnant, it has become very, very much harder for me to be able to go and do a lot of this testing that they needed me to do to start with. I literally was scheduled to go in and have them do an angiogram. And the night before that, at 11 o'clock at night, I found out that I was pregnant, and they can't do the angiogram. And due to the fact that they cannot do the angiogram, they are very worried that I'm just gonna end up having a heart attack and dropping dead, or that my heart's plumbing, small veins, ventricles, and arteries are clogged in some way, shape, or form, or are deformed in some way, shape, or form, and that they were going to need to go in and do surgery to repair the damage or put in a stent or whatever. But that has been put on hold until everything gets itself worked out, because doing this while pregnant is not advised. So it's very stressful. And to any of you who have had to go through these things, or not even these things, but had similar issues, my heart goes out to you, because it is really hard to be able to make the decisions for yourself that you need to make, and still figure out how to keep your child safe. Some of your options are going to be much, much harder than others. But right now I am working with a team of doctors individually who are trying to all come together on the same page in order to be able to figure out the best way forward, the safest, healthiest way forward, so that me and the baby are safe. That being said, right now, I'm pretty much just leaving it up to the one who made me, because I don't believe that he would have given me this miracle. And I do believe it's a miracle that this child is in existence. And so I'm giving it to God. And that's pretty much all I can do at this point, because anything else is out of my hands. Anyway, that is kind of where I stand with everything at the moment. And I hope that I find you all well today, and that you are much blessed. If anything that I do is enjoyable to you, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell. That way you know when I post and you can find my content easier. I appreciate each and every one of you that are coming along with me on this crazy journey. And I will see you again next time. Have a lovely day.